everyone. Today we will explore an important aspect of inclusive education, which is customizing and instructional materials for students with hearing or visual impairments. Understanding the unique needs of these learners is essential in creating a more effective and accessible learning environment. Our assigned educational context is a school for students with hearing or visual impairments. Our objective is to identify the specific needs of these students, analyze the challenges they face with standard instructional materials, and propose adaptations and solutions that will enhance their learning experience. Also, to gain a deeper understanding of the challenges and needs of these students with hearing or visual impairments, we had the privilege of interviewing Mrs. Carolina A. Gumapo, a dedicated special education teacher at Bliss Elementary School in Siocan, Zamboanga del Norte. Now let's dive into the discussion step by step. Now we have 3 steps. Step 1, identify learner needs. Step 2, identify challenges with standard instructional materials. Step 3, propose adaptations and solutions. For step 1, identifying learner needs. So what are the specific needs of students in this educational context? Students with hearing or visual impairments require specialized materials to support their learning. The students with hearing difficulties especially needs sign language, particularly the Philippine Sign Language or the PSL instructional materials. And for visually impaired students, they require Braille workbooks if available. One of the most essential tools for the learning of students with hearing difficulties is PSL instructional materials, which serve as a bridge between the teacher's lessons and the student's ability to comprehend them. Coming from our interviewed teacher, Mrs. Carolina, she also suggested that the students with visual difficulty needs to have puzzles in order to amplify their other sense, such as their sense of touch, as this will also be helpful in real-world applications. Mrs. Carolina has suggested that the students and the teacher shall adopt a buddy-buddy system. A visually impaired student shall be paired to a student with hearing difficulties so that they can help with each other. This way, a conducive classroom and learning will be easier to both the students and the teacher. So this system is an effective strategy since it fosters collaboration, peer support, and a more inclusive classroom environment. And for students with visual impairments, aside from that they require Braille workbooks and tactile learning tools like puzzles to strengthen their sense of touch, they specifically need audio and visually enhanced materials like closed captions, images, videos, projectors, televisions, and speakers. Since they may have difficulty reading standard textbooks or written materials, these alternative instructional tools play a crucial role in helping them engage with lessons in a way that accommodates their needs. And for students with hearing or visual impairments, they process information differently from their peers. They require individualized lesson plans to ensure that each student's unique learning needs are met. So this approach is based on Fred Killer's individualized instruction theory, which emphasizes self-paced learning, mastery of subjects, and personalized educational strategies tailored to each student's abilities and challenges. And now for the step 2, we identify challenges with standard instructional materials. So what difficulties might students face with traditional teaching resources? Traditional teaching methods often create barriers for these learners. So for students with hearing difficulty in teacher-centered classroom, the students may face difficulties in keeping up with the discussions given by the teachers. That is because a teacher-centered classroom heavily relies on verbal instruction and lecture-based teaching. Since the teacher does most of the talking and controls the flow of information, students with hearing impairments may struggle to follow along without visual aids, sign language interpretation, or caption materials. So, according to Mrs. Carolina, students with disability or difficulties often have a low attention span, therefore increasing the challenges that both the students and teachers face in a classroom setting.
One of the challenges the students may face, specifically the visually impaired students, are traditional textbooks. Because in traditional textbooks, the written texts are published with smaller fonts, therefore giving them a hard time reading what is written in the books. Step 3. Propose solutions and adaptations. The Department of Education may provide sign language materials specifically to those students with visual impairments. Mrs. Carolina also suggested that the DepEd may provide annual checkups for the students to see their progress, and also the doctors can give the teachers evaluation and guidelines on what to teach them inside the classroom. The teachers may utilize the technological advancement provided by the Department of Education, such as TVs, laptops, projectors, and other materials that would help the students have a conducive and more interactive learning inside the classroom. The teachers may also utilize the learning tablets provided by the Department of Education to have interactive games with the students with both visually and audio difficulties. The tablets can give them a sense of game, a sense of belonging, that will catch their low attention spans as suggested in the difficulties of the audio and visual difficulties of the students. So overall, the DepEd, the Department of Education, and the teachers will work hand in hand to provide conducive and interactive and also inclusive learning for those students with difficulties.